And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Nestorgames are kind of hit and miss with me. Some of them I really like, some I don't. And then of course there's a disclaimer, is that he has published one of my own games. So his games usually come in these pencil case style bags like this. And here we have one which again comes in a pencil case, but it has some really nice components inside there. One sheet of rules. It's an abstract strategy game. The name of it's Pilus. What does that mean? Do the rules even say? No, I don't know what it means. But it's a cool little two-player abstract. Well, okay, it goes up to 4. But two-player, let's look at it. Pilus is one of those games that's best played with 2 players. You can play with up to 4, but I don't know why they even put that on the box, because really it just becomes a little bit too chaotic with 4. So we're just going to talk about a 2-player game here, even though there is 4 different symbols that you can take, cool symbols that you can take. So each player chooses a symbol of their color. A tile is placed in the middle of the board. Now tiles will have combinations of 5 different colors on them, and you can see the shapes too. So there's red, yellow, gray, blue, and green, each with a matching symbol on them. All the tiles are placed in piles on the side, and players are going to draw a handful of 3 of these. So on your turn, you simply play a tile, and then you move your piece. It works like this. So I play this tile here on the board, and I've just formed 2 groups. A group of 2 grays and a group of 2 yellows. So I just scored 4 points. Then I draw another tile, and then I place my piece on top of this tile somewhere. Now, when you place your piece on a tile, that means no one else can put anything on that tile, and they cannot connect to the group that your piece is part of. He's protecting that yellow group. So let's say the next player is playing, and he looks at his hand, and he says, ooh, I'm going to do the same thing over here. And so he also scores 4 points. And then on my turn, I say, well, I'm going to make this yellow group bigger. I've just scored 3 points now for yellow. Now I have the 2 options. I can take this and I can move it 1 space in any direction, or I can move it to any space on the tile I've played. Now you are allowed to make tiles that are on the 2nd level, like this. When you do that, as long as it's not just on 1 tile, it has to be on at least 2 tiles, and at least 3 of the bottom squares must be fulfilled. So this is legal, even though one of the squares is hanging off, and one of the squares must match exactly the square underneath it. So this would be legal for me to do. So when I put this down like this, you can see that I'm going to score for this yellow group and for this green group. But instead of being 1 point per square, since the tile I place is on the 2nd level, they are now 2 points per square. So this is a great tile because that is 6 points for the green, 6 points for the red, and 4 points for the yellow. You actually can go up to the 3rd level with these tiles, except when you go to the 3rd level, you have to match 2 of the squares underneath it. If you go to the 4th level, you have to match 3, and the 5th level, you have to match all 4. I've never seen the 5th level. In fact, I've never even seen a 4th level reached. And you keep going till all the tiles are out on the board, and then whoever has the most points is the winner. It's a very simple game. So there you go. Very simple, easy game to play, but you'll find yourself sitting there and saying, okay, where can I best place this tile? Where can I put it? How can I make sure that my opponent doesn't attach to a big group of things and get a lot of points? And you'll find the scores going back and forth. But one big play, of course, can win it. But as long as you play at a reasonable pace, we're talking a 15-minute game. And I like it. It's simple, easy, matching the colors or symbols, whichever one's easier for you to do. So check this one out. This is a Nestor game that stays on the shelf.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.